Alright everyone, I'm off to work. So, check it out. So there's a lot of guys on here that are actually master techs. And I know there's a lot of controversy, a lot of bullshit, a lot of I don't knows. I'm going to tell you this. If GM is saying go 040, they definitely know that there's a problem with the quality of the oil that you're using in the engine. And quality can come from specifications as well. A lot, excuse me, I'm getting a lot of guys who work in dealerships. GM techs are saying run 1540. So this isn't me telling you, but read between the lines. Read what the top level guys are saying that don't have any problems with those engines or their own engines, that they're running 1540. That, look how much of a difference between 020 and 1540 is. And based on the chart that I showed the specs for, 1540 performed very well in an all-season climate that's not necessarily cold. I don't consider South Jersey necessarily cold. So it isn't me just telling you. You have to read through the comments. And if you have the time, take the time and read through the comments. I don't know if too many YouTubers are going to come out and say that to you, but I'm going to say, hey, I got a lot of GM tech saying nothing but 1540 is what they're using, and they're not having any issues. And then there's some other people commenting, what should I do with this engine? What should I do with this engine? This engine? It's really an experiment. You really have to try and figure out what is really going to make your engine perform better or last better or be more fuel efficient. Obviously the zero nothings are going to be for fuel efficiency, but you already know how well is it protecting. It's not. And another thing is that these dealerships come out with these recalls or these letters or TSBs and says, oh, your 5.0 should sound like a diesel engine, that's normal. That's a lie. And I don't know why the public chokes that down. If I did someone's engine and it sounded like a diesel truck, they would definitely have me in the courtroom and trying to get their money back. That's a fact. And the Chevy engines that sound like crap at idle too, these 6.2s and some of these other engines, they sound like garbage. And if you ask any machinist, they're going to tell you something's not right. And if your engine's quiet at idle, right, on cold start, I want you to think about this. If you have a 5.0 and it's quiet on cold start, or not as noisy on cold start, right? And then once the engine's at temperature, it sounds like a sewing machine or a diesel truck. Dude, people, that's because the oil has broke down so far that the valve train and lifters and everything else doesn't have the sufficient lubrication. And that's the same thing for Chevys. So I don't understand what the disconnect really is. There's a disconnect. Complete disconnect. So, the top level guys who fix these cars every day are saying they're using 1540 and they're having success. It's not me telling you. These are the other guys in the industry saying, hey, this is what I do and I'm having fantastic success. And then some people are having success with just 0.8s. It all depends on the climate you're in and the abuse that you're putting your vehicle under. That's a fact. Climate, right? Weather, the W, and the viscosity. If your engine's quiet on cold start, right, and then as it gets hot, it gets noisier, well, the metals are expanding in your engine. So what's breaking down? It's the oil. If your engine makes noise on cold start, and then the noise goes away, what does that tell you? That you have worn components, and as those worn components get hotter, they expand and the noise goes away. Can that be combated with an oil that has a better W for cold starts? Absolutely. But think about this, right? You got paint that's too watery, right? You lay it down and it runs right off. Then you get paint that's thicker and it sticks and stays. That's how it goes, people. But it's so easy for the dealerships to say, oh, well, that's normal. Don't worry about that. We're just trying to get you past warranty. It's crap. So listen to the guys in the trenches. That's me and Ford Boss Me and some of these technicians, these master techs in the bays. Thanks for watching.